on what are we talking about? What's it called?
YouTube.
YouTube. So so this might be entertaining as well. So I'm just never done this before, so I figured, what the heck?
There you are.
What?
So there you are. And
there I am. So I will do some writing on the board if you guys wanted to take a picture of when I'm done, or at different phases. That's going to be saved and it'll go on our website at some point. Also, going to start doing a whole lot of things with the website in general, just for current members. It's going to be a membership website, so you guys will have a lot of access internally of workouts and the current workout. We're doing an online membership that's going to go on there as well. So if you guys are out of town, you can just follow along, essentially live with the videoed workout. But yeah. So I mean, other than that, just bear with me as I look really goofy doing all this stuff for the first time.
The question is our recipe. That's going to be the big question.
Where'd I go?
There's a big delay. It's not real time. I mean, so it's going to be a small.
So I can't look at myself?
No.
Good. All right.
So there you're back.
Okay. So it's 8:30. Am I on?
Yes.
I've been live this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're writing on the board and whatnot.
So like right now?
You are live.
All right. Hey guys, how's it going? All right. So PFT, for those of you that are brand new training here, some of this information might be too much for you. Some of you might want to just learn how to work out again, right? Some of you come in here like, I'm learning all this stuff, these new workouts, this new training routine. Some of this information might be too much for you. So just save it until you're ready. Okay, you don't have to jump into PFT and do all 4 phases all at the same time. You know, it's not change everything in your life, because a lot of times when we start something brand new and we have 50,000 things that we're supposed to be doing, we don't do any of them. Okay? One thing about PFT is we do one thing: high intensity metabolic resistance interval training. I'll say that again: high intensity metabolic resistance interval training. And that's all we do. We don't do bellies and butts. We don't do any other type of exercise. We don't do yoga in here. We specialize in one thing, because if you specialize in one thing and you do it well, that's all you need to do. So we're not one of those places that has 10 different types of classes going on. We have one class, my class. All right? So, but our nutrition is set up in a 4-phase plan. Okay, so I will write that on the board. It's 4 phases. 4-phase system. I'm going to go over these really quick because the primary thing is about tracking. But the first phase is lose. Okay, phase 1 is lose. Most of the time, when people come in, they want to just lose weight. Right? Everybody comes in and says, my scale is too high. My pants don't fit. My this, my that. So, phase 1 is lose, because that's the simplest phase for everyone to do. What we do is we have the Fit 3D scanner, we take your body composition numbers, and we figure out what is the best weight that you can weigh with your muscle mass. So it's not just, I'm 5'2" and I need to be 105 pounds, because that's what a magazine says I should weigh. No. We take your lean body mass and we find out what the optimal weight is with your lean body mass. So some people, especially people who at one time were really big in their life and they've lost weight, they have extra muscle, because guess what? It takes muscle to carry that extra weight around. So you build muscle throughout the day. So you're probably never going to be 105 pounds at 5'2". Okay, so get that thought out of your mind. It doesn't really matter what you weigh. It's what you are inside. Okay, it's the body composition. It's the muscle mass. It's the lean body fat. You know, or the body fat and the lean muscle mass. So, but at first, most people, they want to lose. So we have that ideal body weight with your lean body mass. Okay, so that BMI index thing where it says height and weight, throw that away. Never look at that again. That doesn't matter. Phase 2. Well, the details about phase one is that all you have to do is make sure that you track your calories on your MyFitnessPal app and make sure you reach that calorie number. Doesn't even matter what those calories are. Okay. Now, some of you are like, I can't eat that many calories. You're going to look at your numbers and you're like, wow, I have to eat 1,200 or 1,500 calories. Yes. Some of you have been on a starvation diet. You've been on that 800 calorie Jane Fonda diet your whole life, and you're still not happy with where your body is right now. That's because you are not giving your body the energy that it needs to survive, so your body goes into a fat storage mode, okay? Just like running, but we're not even going to get into that topic right now. So your body goes into starvation mode, so you will hold on, and you will store fat for energy. Now, especially when you start training here at PFT, this is hard work. You're burning at least 300 to 500 calories per workout, plus all the workouts we do with the interval training and the high intensity nature of our training. You will burn calories for an extra 24 to 48 hours in what's called, the burn phase, or it's post-exercise oxygen consumption epoch, or there's a bunch of different names for it, but essentially it's the burn. It's that afterburn effect. It's where your body the metabolism is elevated, so you need calories to repair. Don't think this is not a starvation diet, all right? Now, so that's phase one, is just tracking calories. Phase two, once you've lost that weight, we want to build a little bit of muscle. Okay, so phase two is where we bump your calories up, because in phase one, we've taken your basic calories and we've subtracted from that, so that you have a negative caloric load, which funny thing is that may still be higher than what you're eating right now. Okay, but it's a little bit less calories, so you burn fat, you burn muscle, you burn fat, and you lose weight. Going from there, then we get up into we're going to the normal caloric load. Okay, so there's no decrease in your calories, so we stay with that same normal caloric load, but we're starting to focus on protein. Okay, so first phase, just tracking calories. Second phase, we start tracking protein. So we're adding another number to start tracking. Okay, phase two, because it takes a little bit more calories, takes a little bit more protein. We want to make sure we're giving our body enough protein to survive the workouts, to rebuild the muscles. Okay, and that's pretty simple. But here's the thing: phase two is the longest phase that we have at PFT. Phase two can last forever, because it takes time to build muscle. You can't build 5 pounds of muscle in a month. Anybody that says you can do that is not doing it naturally. It's not coming. That 5 pounds of muscle ain't coming on naturally, if you know what I mean. So that's it. Phase one is lose. Phase two is build. Phase three is lean. So once you built up that muscle, we want to show it off. That's the idea. And now phase lean, you're tracking all three macronutrients. Now, macronutrients, really simple. Protein, fat, and carbohydrates. Those are your macronutrients. Macro because they're big. Micro is when you start looking at the vitamins and the minerals and really starting to get detailed. We don't do micronutrients here. We do macros. All you do is track those macros. So, but this is the hardest part. This is the part that takes more, you gotta be a little more nitpicky with what you're eating. It's the hardest one to achieve, because you have to make sure that you're getting enough protein, fat, and carbohydrates. And that's the hard part. That's where it can become like a game, though. Some people are like, think it's so overwhelming and so challenging, but if you try to make it a game, where how can I get that extra fat without getting the carbohydrates? And that's the thing. Okay, so my favorite choice is olive oil or coconut oil. Just pour it over your food, because there's no density to it. So it's not like you're eating a whole avocado and you're feeling overfilled, but it's clean, healthy fat. Now, there's nothing wrong with fat. Okay? Nothing wrong with fat. Back in 1980, when they did that report and they said you can't have any fat, and everybody said low fat and high sugar, destroyed the world. Well, America. Anyways, maybe not the world. But fat's not bad, so add that extra fat. Avocados are a great source for natural healthy fat. As I said, olive oil, coconut oil is another great source of healthy fat. Now, from there we go on to what's called our endurance phase. Okay, so we have the lose phase, the build phase, the tone phase, the tighten up phase, the lean phase, the show off the muscles for the bikini phase. There's like 4 different phases, all wrapped in one. And then we have the endurance phase. Now, for those of you that are endurance athletes, or you have, those, events coming up like Spartan races or marathons or things where you really want to, load up and nutritionally get fit for those, we have that as well. Now, not very many people get into that phase. That's really an extreme phase. It just is, because it's about loading up your carbohydrates and making sure that that you're getting enough. Now, it's not just go before race day and eat a plate of pasta the night before you race, because that's just going to make you fat and sluggish and slower. There's a 10-day build-up process for events. It's a 10-day carb load phase. That's why not very many people make it to this phase. Because, and here's the other thing about it too, unless you're at that optimal level of fitness right now and body fat, your body fat for men is down under 15 to close to 13%, and women, you are under 23%. That's like our optimal gauges for men and women. Once you're under that, that's when you can really start using your carbohydrates for an extra, that you start really needing to load up your carbs for extra events like that. Otherwise, we all have the sugar in our bodies to work out. We all have the nutrients in our body to get that, where it's just a matter of turning it on. Okay, so that's why I say that the endurance phase is the last phase, and very few people actually make it to the endurance phase, because that takes a lot of hard work. I did have one question on the thing talking about carb cycling and carb loading, and to be honest with you, anybody who's ever heard of carb loading, that's really more of a that's to get that last 2 or 3% body fat. And that's where you really detail the micromanaging your eating and what you're eating to make sure that you're getting enough carbs at the right time. As far as during normal eating and working out, if you're asking if there's a time when I should eat more of my carbs during my day than any other time, 2 things. I would suggest that you don't eat most of your carbs after 6 or 7 o'clock. In the evening, number one, just because carbs are quickly turned into fat, and usually in the evening is when we slow down. We're not using as much energy. There's not as much need for all that for that energy source, so it gets stored as fat because that's where our body holds on to it the best and the longest. Okay, But when is a good time to make sure you get your carbohydrates and your sugars in your meals? That's when you can start eating it, is right after a workout, especially a cardio workout here at PFT. Okay, because after you burned your muscles and worked your muscles really hard here for 45 minutes, because then you guys know that's how long our workouts are, 45 minutes. Once you've worked out here for 45 minutes, your muscles are completely depleted of glycogen, that's sugar, okay, and they're broken. So essentially, all those little microfibers are broken. They need that fuel. So you want to try to eat within a half an hour after your workout, whether it be a protein shake and etc. I usually do 2. I do a protein shake and one of the meal preps that we have here. I'll do both because I sweat. If you ever sweat, you need to replace that sugar, unless it's hot out. It's different. So that is a good time. If it's really hot out, you probably don't need the sugar. You just need a fan or something. But if you're working out and you're sweating, you burn sugar, you've broken down muscles. Okay, you need to refuel your body, unless there's a whole other gamut that we're going to talk about next is intermittent fasting. Okay, so as part of our the weight loss aspect of PFT, and up in the I didn't put any of my faces up there. I'll write them up at the end. Is intermittent fasting. Okay, intermittent fasting is not eating for 16 hours, and then you have an 8-hour window to eat. Okay, it's not that hard. Some of you already do it, and you don't even know it. But then you only eat 1 meal a day. Anybody here that does that? Don't raise your hand, because anybody else will look at you. So intermittent fasting. You stop. Here's the idea. The reason why we do it and when we do it. At PFT, we do intermittent fasting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's not a requirement. It is a suggestion that if you really want to see the weight fall off, intermittently fast on Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, you should train here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and if we have a workout on Saturday, you show up on that. So that's 6 days a week training at PFT. You intermittently fast on Tuesday and Thursday, and maybe Saturday if it works out for you. Okay? Don't shake your head at me. She's shaking her head at me. All right, so yeah, okay, so Tuesdays and Thursdays we do it. And the reason why we do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays is because Tuesdays and Thursdays are cardio core. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we break down the muscles. It's a total body strength training. We build, we lift heavy, we go hard, we go long. Those muscle fibers are broken down, you're sore. Anybody remember the Wednesday workout? Anybody still sore from that?
Yes.
I'm still sore from that workout, for crying out loud. Because it's broken down muscle fibers, all right? So on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with that extra load we do, I like to provide your body with extra calories to repair throughout the entire day, okay? Whereas Tuesdays and Thursdays, we give your big muscles a break, and we work the smaller muscles, the more dynamic cardiovascular muscles, like the high knees and the burpees, the total body stuff, where we're not just focused on one big, large muscle group. We're doing dynamic cardio, so like I said, the running, the burpees, the mountain climbers, that sort of thing, and then intermittently intervaling that with ab moves, right? I mean, you guys all know that. So we don't need to have that fuel available right away to rebuild those muscles. So if you don't eat from 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock, you go 16 hours, that's 1 o'clock the next day. So if you come in here at 5 or 6 a.m., you work out, but you don't eat on that Tuesday and Thursday. So your body, we're not breaking down those muscle fibers enough. So where you need them to rebuild and repair. Okay, so you can have coffee and water. If you need to put a little bit of, coffee without cream and sugar. No cream, no sugar. Just black coffee, the way God made it. Or some Colombians made it. Whoever did the coffee first was awesome. Whoever they are needs to be given the Nobel Prize for everything, for the coffee makers. But, yeah, so that's it. Now, it's a little bit hard at first. You know, I have the, my stomach grumbles at like 6:30, 7. But I drink a cup of coffee and it goes away. And then I'm okay. And then I work out at 8:30 or I work out at noon and then I eat. It is completely doable. Okay? But if you do it, I'm telling you, if you do the intermittent fasting 2 days a week, you will see the pounds fall off. It will happen. I guarantee it. Unless you have a metabolic issue. If you have a metabolic issue, you know, something wrong with some hormones and stuff, that's going to take a little bit more calculating. That's a little bit different. Some of us have that. But most of us, if we just stay diligent with tracking at first, you get there. Once you get there, guys, once you get to your optimal body weight and your optimal lean muscle mass and you are at that point of where you're just like awesomely fit, you don't have to track anymore. You can just kind of eat 90-10, 80-20. What that means is 90% of your food is good and you have that one bagel or that one scone. I'm a scone addict. I need to go to Scone Anonymous. But when I'm tracking, when I'm trying to lose, when I'm trying to eat right and do things, I don't eat that stuff. You know, it is doable. It's hard, yes, but it is doable. So with the tracking, you have the tools we use in the MyFitnessPal app. You go on there, the MyFitnessPal app, you set it up with the Fit 3D scanning that we do. I will send you your macronutrients. Those macronutrients is the calories that you need to count. And then if you wanted to, step up a notch, you start tracking the number of protein grams, fat grams, and carbohydrate grams. Okay, so you start tracking those. That's in there as well. Everything you enter in there will be broken down. There's a video that I send out that has the details of how to set up your MyFitnessPal app and how to set up the numbers and change the numbers, because they're going to give you crazy numbers. It's not the MyFitnessPal numbers you want. You just want the ability to track so that you can see what you're putting in your face. Alcohol counts. unless it's 0-calorie alcohol, which doesn't exist. So anything you put in your face, in your mouth, you have to track. The water, I don't track my water. I get enough water, but everything that has calories in it, I track it. When I'm in my phase, am I working? I track it. You guys saw, I don't know if you guys saw the post I did where I kind of came clean on being out of sorts with working out and not really caring what I was eating. I wasn't like I was gaining weight. I was 177 pounds, 176 point something, which is, 3 pounds heavier than what I normally am. But my body composition had changed. I'd gotten a little fatter. I had lost some muscle, and I had lost some girth. The last scan I did, I was down like half an inch in my arms and my legs and that sort of thing, which isn't that big of a deal. But to me, I could feel it, okay? Because again, we come here and I'm talking about all these numbers and I'm talking about all this weight loss and this fat change and the body composition and all that stuff. The reality of the whole thing behind Pureform PFT is we want you to feel good and be awesome. And whether that's being 5 pounds down from where you are right now, or 5 pounds up, or 10% body fat down, or whatever that is, whatever that number is, I don't really care, as long as you feel good about who you are and what you're doing in here, and you feel awesome, okay? Because all that number stuff, all those numbers that we punish ourselves with, I do the same thing, all those numbers that we punish ourselves with is just punishment. Just be happy. Make sure you're doing something that you like. Make sure you're doing it with the people that you like, because that's what it's all about. It's about bringing the people that you like together to do something together that you wouldn't do outside of here, and just have a good time doing it. So feel good about doing something different and being that top 1%. Well, I don't know, 10%. Maybe the top 10% people that are actually out there in the real world doing something about their fitness and their life and their health. Because again, it's not about living longer necessarily. Because in reality, I don't care if I live an extra 6 months when I'm 90 something. I'm 44. I don't care if I live to be 95 or 96. I don't really care, but I want the next 50 years to be just as good as the last 20. Because the first 20, I want the last 50 years of my life to be awesome. I want to raise if my kids ever have kids, or if I'll adopt kids, I don't care. I love kids. I want to be that grandpa that's out there playing, surfing, cycling, running, playing catch with my grandkids or my adopted grandkids or my big brother kids if I have to adopt some big brother, big sister sort of thing. But, that's it. That's what I want. I want my life to be awesome. I mean, isn't that what we're all here for? Really? If we really think about it, it's just about living an awesome life and being awesome. And that's why I say be awesome. Do you guys have any questions about the macro stuff? I will do a whole nother video as well, but yeah.
Okay, so when I first started, I think we started in phase 3, which is tracking all of them.
Phase 3 is tracking all of them.
So,
yeah.
So that calorie count that I got from the very beginning,
Yep.
it was 1,700 calories.
Yes.
I think it's huge.
Yeah.
If I want to lose.
That's already with your numbers subtracted.
So do I need to, do I need to really keep the rigid track of the carbs, fats?
No, you don't have to. And that's the thing about the flexible, when we call this a flexible meal plan. She asked if you have to track everything. And you don't have to track everything. The flexible nature of the meal plan is you can eat whatever you want as long as you track it. Now, no, I will say you do have to know that your body will respond to bad sugar differently than it responds to protein calories. It will. Your body will get sluggish, and it will store more of that sugar as fat because that's just the easiest thing for it to turn to. It's easier for your body to process sugar, okay, than it is to process carbohydrates and fat. It takes a lot longer to burn the carbohydrate. I mean the protein and the fat. So, in just the lose phase, yeah, it's just track calories. Just be smart about it too, because I will say that primarily the idea is calories in, calories out, but the quality of the calories in changes the efficiency with which your body works internally. So if you eat nothing but bad food, you eat one McDonald's meal a day for your 1,700 calories, it's going to destroy your system inside. Because that's your one meal, 1,700 calories in one McDonald's meal with the French fries and the Happy Meal or whatever. So
But
that calorie count is there. Yes. If you're training 5 days a week. If you're not training 5 days a week, it's probably gonna keep you right where you are. Yeah. Yeah, so the intermittent fasting, the 16 hours on the intermittent fasting is from the last meal you eat on Monday or Wednesday all the way through 16 hours. So if you don't eat at your last meal is at 6 p.m. on Monday, it's whatever that is from there. 10 a.m. There we go. Thank you. You math wizards. You're awesome. It's 10 a.m. So it's a whole 16-hour block. Now the idea behind that goes into it tags along with kind of put your body into a semi-ketotic state. Now I hate to say ketosis because that's like the new craze. Everybody wants to be in ketosis. Let me tell you something about ketosis. It's almost impossible to get into a true ketotic state or true ketosis, whatever word is right. It's almost impossible to get into true ketosis because you have to be like under 35 grams of carbohydrates. I mean, it's ridiculously hard. And in order to get there, you're not very nice. So Tuesday or Thursdays, you don't eat. Yeah, so you start on a Monday and Wednesday, and you don't, and it's Tuesdays and Thursdays that you don't eat in the morning. Now I will talk real quickly about the new craze is that whole the ketones, the powder ketones. It's garbage. Okay, anything that you put in your body externally that's going to do something what your body should normally do naturally is garbage. Fat burners, exogenous ketones, 2 shake a day diets, none of that stuff works. Real food, real life, change your life. Don't just try to lose weight just to lose weight and then go back to eating crap because you're going to gain more weight than you started with. Change your lifestyle over a long period of time. PFT is not about shortcuts. We don't do shortcuts. We don't do fat burners. We don't do appetite suppressants. We are not about shortcuts. We're about long cuts. We do long cuts at PFT because long cuts last. You may not get there as fast as the shake shop down the street says, hey, 2 shakes a day and you'll lose 20 pounds in a month. Great. You're going to eat 2 shakes a day for the rest of your life? If you get on that stuff, you have to stay on that stuff forever. Okay? Forever. I tried the exogenous ketones in the powder, and it was okay. I had energy. Yeah, I had a little bit of energy. I wanted to give it a try because I was a sucker, and I tried it. But I'll tell you what, I had the next month, which is why I think I was kind of lazy and didn't want to work out. I had zero energy once I stopped, eating my little powder with my ketones in it that gave me this great energy, and I thought I could really work out. Workout really wasn't that much, but I was super tired. I don't know if it was a rebound effect or just mental. But for that last month, that's when I went into that whole phase of like, man, I don't really want to work out. So I was like down to 3 workouts a week, which is not normal for me. Normal, I'm 6 to 7. Sometimes, if I'm doubling up, 10 workouts a week. And I'm getting back there. I made my stand on Facebook. Said I'm going to work out with you guys for this challenge. So here I am. You got a question?
After you work out and talk about the sugars and the carbs, what are some good ideas for those? Would just be fruits of some sort?
Fruits are okay, just because that's a readily absorbable, sugar source. So that's okay. My suggestion for a post-workout, a banana's good, and it's just a matter of when you want to wrap up those carbs. Obviously, the best carbohydrates, in my opinion, are leafy greens. There's substantial broccoli, cauliflower, even though it's white. It's okay. It's the only white carb that's really good for you. So broccoli, but Brussels sprouts are great as well. Asparagus, thick, hearty, spinach. So there's not a lot of calories in that, but if you do, sugar. That's the fruit. That's always been a funky thing because it can turn into glucose. Again, that's some micronutrient stuff right there. Okay, we're just talking macros right now. So if you're going to eat some fruit, eat it right after your workout. I know that'll give you some of that. I suggest not, but that's a fat loss. That's more for a fat loss sort of a thing. And again, that's getting a little bit more detailed. We don't want to overcomplicate it for people. Any other questions? Oh, good question. On the days that you fast, your calorie intake does not change. And that's hard. That's what makes it hard. So I have in my current weight loss phase, I'm probably only going to do it for another week with one cheat day because it's too much for me. Working out twice a day sometimes. So right now I'm at like 2150 calories a day. 2,150 calories a day, and that's in a depleted state. That's in a weight loss, zone. So for me to eat at 1 o'clock after my noon workout to get 2,000 calories in, it's a little bit tough. That's where the things like the tablespoon of olive oil, the coconut oil, those sorts of things where there's no bulk to it. You just add it to your food. That'll give you a great caloric load to reach those numbers. But yeah, you want to do your very best to reach those numbers on your intermittent fasting days, because otherwise it just becomes starvation mode again. Good question though. I meant to say that when I was talking about it, so that's good. Anything else?
You're only doing it Tuesday and Thursday?
Only Tuesday and Thursday, because again, the intermittent fasting, you're on the strength days. If you work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 a.m. and you burned up all those muscles, we want to try to replace the fuel as soon as we can. Make it readily available for the muscle to rebuild. Tuesdays and Thursdays, like I say, we're not breaking down as many of the big muscle fibers. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are your day. And Saturdays if you want. If you guys want to do that weird stuff where you run, and weird, you can intermittently fast after that. Any other questions? Yeah. Nope, that's fine.
It's okay.
If there's no calories in it, go for it. Again, flexible. Don't deprive yourself. Here's the thing: if you deprive yourself of, if I tell you, Michael had a great point the other day in his video on I forget what 2 weeks ago. Anyways, he said, if I tell you that you can't have it, all you're going to think about is what I tell you can't have. So in the flexible meal plan, you can eat what you want. You just can't eat a bag. You eat a 1 or a 2. Okay? You can eat cheesecake, a bite, maybe. not a half a cheesecake from Costco. Man, those cheesecakes from Costco are super fantastic. Sorry, don't go to Costco for the cheesecake. Yeah.
I was just wondering, how long of a period of time would you do the fasting?
I would say that we do. You do the intermittent fasting for no more than 6 weeks at a time, and then take a month off. Again, but that depends on how you're feeling with it. If you feel okay while you're doing it, go ahead. As long as you're getting enough calories in that 8-hour day after you start eating again, that's okay. But if you go into that really steep, I only had 400 calories on Tuesday and Thursday. Don't do that. You know what I mean? You don't have a problem with that? Okay. And so that brings me another question. She asked, how long should you do the intermittent fasting off and on? And that brings me to another point. If you come in here and you have 100 pounds to lose, 50 pounds to lose, I don't expect you to be in phase 1 for a year. Cycle through it. Give me 2 to 3 months in phase 1. And then bump up your calorie. Ask me again. Then we can jump you up into the build phase. You go into the build phase, you add some calories, you reset your body, you reset it. After a month of the build phase, you go back into the lose phase. So you can cycle through it if you have that much weight to lose. Okay? Don't stay in the lose phase all your life. Because again, if I tell you you can't have something, all you're going to think about is how you can. All right. So yeah, but cycle. Yeah.
So it's up to yourself to switch phases.
No. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tap you on the back. What phase are you on? What phase are you on? What phase are you on? It's up to you to if you feel it, raise your hand and ask. It's a good idea we do the Fit 3D scanner once a month. It's a good idea to do that monthly because your numbers are going to change. Okay? You are going to lose weight. You will need to start decreasing your caloric load. So if you've lost 50 pounds, your calorie load is not going to be the same. Okay? You're going to want to decrease that calorie load. But, yeah, reach out. Every time you do that scan, look at it, see how you feel. One other thing about the lose phase in particular, if you ever just kind of fall flat, if you've lost 10 pounds in the first month and you're like, woo, this is awesome, and then if you have more than 2 to 3 weeks where you've just kind of eaten the same but your weight's the same, and you're in that lose phase, ask the question. Maybe we need to reevaluate your numbers and drop them back down again. Okay. So, any other questions, guys? Please. Oh, come on. Just kidding. From the Fit, how soon will it be until the Fit 3D scanner calories come? I don't know. Probably by next week. It takes time for me to get on my computer and enter and all that stuff. So it's not just a cookie cutter thing where I'm like, okay, that's for all the women and that's for all the men. I got to, enter and stuff and change things. I'm going to change things a little bit too, where it incorporates every single phase. Everyone gets each phase depending upon what phase they want to do. So you can follow whatever phase you're in at that time. And every time you weigh yourself and Fit 3D scan yourself, it will change as well. So it'll give you the options of whatever phase you choose to be in. Now, phase 1 and phase 3 are going to be really similar, except as far as the calorie count is concerned, except for what you're tracking. Okay? Now, the one thing that I did not mention in all of your tracking is you want to make sure that you have high fiber count. Okay? It's not a macronutrient. It's not a macro that's really what's the best way to put it? It's not required. It's not really a macro. It's a micro. Okay, it's not in the first 3, but you want to there are numbers. I think it's 28 for women under 50, 21 for women over 50, something like that. And men is 38 and 31. 38 grams of fiber. 21, 25, something like that, grams of fiber. It's in the reports that I send out to you guys. Can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but you want to make sure that you have the fiber, because I tell you what, anything that doesn't have the fiber in it, it's not going to work. You have to have the fiber to help push that food through your system, if you know what I mean. Like a baby. I eat, and I eat again. All right, any other questions? No? Who's ready to work out? You guys ready to get a little workout in? All right. Like I said, we'll record this, or if it worked, that's great. If not, I'll do it again just to myself. And it'll be available on the website to you guys at some point. Later. How do you turn this off?
It's this one right here.
So you can log in and see our fit scan, and then you look at
Yes.